and welcome back to Never Seen It. It's a podcast about movies that we haven't seen yet. My name is Trent. I'm here with my wife, Betsy.
Me? Betsy!
You are Betsy, and we are going to cover our final Hackers movie of the month of May. Betsy, the whole reason why we did this series in the first place is because we wanted to watch this one movie.
What could it be?
It's Hackers!
No!
It's another Hackers movie from the 90s that inexplicably I haven't seen, and neither has Betsy. Again, we reiterate, we haven't seen any of these Hackers movies.
This is a fact.
So it's a good way to get rid of a bunch of movies off our list, so here we are. Betsy, what do you know about this one?
So as I understand it, this movie isn't good.
Yeah?
This is one of those cult classic movies that people have talked about for almost 30 years.
It was on our list for a cult classic series way back when we did our first one, but we saved it for this series.
We saved it. And it is starring Johnny Lee Miller.
Who?
And Angelina Jolie.
But is she really starring in it, though?
I don't know if she's just in it or it's one of those things where after she got famous a few years later, they slapped her on the poster.
They keep on slapping her on the poster and in whatever promotional materials. Like, I don't think that there's any official promo material with her in it. She's just been photoshopped in because this is around the same time that Angelina Jolie started to become a big star.
This is about 4 years before she became a star, but it's when she was getting work, and then it's hard to imagine the fact that this came out in 95, and then she won an Oscar within like 4 years.
Sure.
But here we are. The thing I do know she picked up from this movie was a husband, because Johnny Lee Miller is her first husband.
I did not know that.
This is a fact, and I think it's probably because of this movie. I don't think they were married for a very long time.
I'm sure not.
But yes, that is who she was married to the first time. And it's weird because, again, I don't think he was any kind of a star in the 90s. And he's not even really a star now, but he's one of those guys that shows up and stuff. So,
Which is why I said who? I don't know who Johnny Lee Miller is.
Do you remember that Sherlock Holmes show that was on CBS called Elementary?
Yeah.
He played Sherlock Holmes.
That's him?
That's him. That's Johnny Lee Miller.
Fun fact, however, Betsy and I did a real life, what do you call it?
A focus group.
A focus group. We were in Vegas for like a long weekend when we were still dating. And we went to something within Vegas. It was like an MGM thing.
At the MGM casino, they have the CBS studios.
Yeah.
And they get tourists to come and be part of their focus groups.
Right. So we were paid in coupons, like literal coupons. We ended up getting free lunch out of this thing via coupon. We watched an episode of Elementary.
Before it premiered.
Before the entire series premiered. We saw like the second or third episode. And literally we had the little dials. We had like the little thing on the screen where it went up and down. It was really weird.
And you filled out a survey at the end.
Yeah, they asked us a bunch of questions at the end. You fill out a survey. And yeah, they gave us a bunch of coupons.
For like an hour and a half, we got free food and we got a sneak peek at this show. That was just fine. It's fine.
It's fine. I don't know. I think it's still on the air.
I have no idea. It doesn't really matter to this conversation. He's been in a number of other things too, but that's the one that I immediately think of for more recent stuff that people would know.
All right.
And then, of course, Angelina Jolie, who became Angelina Jolie.
Uh-huh.
Other than those two, no idea who's in this movie.
What do you know about it?
It is about hackers. This is one of those like underground punk rock. This is where we're getting to the modern definition of what a hacker is supposedly supposed to be.
That's why I wanted to watch this movie. It's because it has this reputation of these fucking punk kids, these teenagers who are like first getting on the internet before anybody else, and they have the style of a hacker that you think of when you think of a hacker. It's that. It's The Matrix before The Matrix was The Matrix.
Again, we'll see if this movie had any inspiration to that later.
Yeah, I'm hoping it does. So, yeah, I have nothing else to say here.
I don't know the plot. I got nothing.
I have no idea what the plot is. I know there is a line that I'm going to save for the end. There's a line that came out of this movie that is fucking stupid, but we'll get to it. We're going to go and watch Hackers. We'll be right back. we're back. That was Hackers, Betsy. What did you think of our finale?
All right, so I will tell you, this movie is definitely not good, but it was actually better than I thought it was gonna be.
I'm so happy that we waited till the end to watch this one because by far I had the best time watching it.
This is so 90s. It's like slapping you in the face. It has not aged well at all. It is over the top.
It aged better than fucking Swordfish did.
Fair. But this one is also more comprehensible than Swordfish was.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't make sense in how these people would end up in this situation. And there's a lot of cutting corners for convenience, like the fact that everyone in their high school is a hacker.
Well, yeah, it's hacking school.
They go
the 90s.
They go to hacking high school in New York City. And you start the movie in the 80s where Johnny Lee Miller's character is 11 years old and being arrested for criminal offenses.
And put on trial.
Yeah.
That is a trial for a child.
Well, and of course they say you get probation because he's a minor.
Right.
And you can't have a computer until your 18th birthday. Don't you think that maybe there should be more consequences? Because he's 11.
Well, the parents got fined $45,000 in 1988.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. But my point is, if he can do that at 11, what the fuck is he gonna do as he gets older? Yeah. Putting him on probation for 7 years and not allowing him to have a computer really won't do anything.
Just gives him the itch.
It just makes him that much more anxious to get back at it. And of course, he remembers everything about it in the 7 years he never touched a computer.
Yeah.
So this is all how it starts. And what was his name? Zero Cool.
Zero Cool was his kid hacker name.
He had a kid hacker name. And then in 1995, on his 18th birthday, he rebrands himself Crash Override.
Crash Override. Such a 90s name. Does it mean anything?
No, everyone in this movie has, once again, a stupid nickname because you cannot be a hacker without a nickname.
Yeah, your handle.
Which is why we have people like Freak and Serial.
Okay, Freak is actually something where, like, when you're hacking, like, payphones and telephone lines, you are freaking. Phreaking. Freaking.
Oh.
When you're freaking the phone, it means that you are trying to hack into the phone and make free phone calls.
Which we talked about
That's a real thing.
Recently, I think in one of the other podcasts, because that was apparently a real thing.
It was.
Where people figured out that you could record a dial tone and get free long distance calls.
Well, it's not necessarily the dial tone. It is the tones that the phones put out that tell the phone system, hey, there's enough money here to make this call. Which is why they say in this movie, put in $5 worth of change, record the tones that the phone is spitting out, and then you can use that same tone to make a long distance call whenever you want. Because it's the same tone every time you make that call.
That is something, once again, that if we watched this movie with a younger generation that didn't have payphones and long distance calls and things, they'd be like, what the fuck are you even talking about?
They were doing this shit in the 70s. I was just telling Betsy before we started recording that Steve Wozniak built little boxes where you could hook it up to the phone and make long distance calls for free. That's how he got his start before he and Steve Jobs made Apple. So, again, they were making that stuff in the 70s.
It's that thing where the hacker culture, quote unquote, it has come out of having fun. Like all of these things, it was all about
pranks
and how far can we get and what can we do and just, can you do it?
Yeah,
Not even so much, why are you doing it? I just wanted to see if I could.
Right, and even in sneakers, like they were doing it, for pranks, but they were also doing it for worthy causes. Same thing in this movie. They're doing it to stick it to the man.
Yeah, pretty much. But they're also just a bunch of teenage dorks. They're just hanging out in these, like, cyberpunk... What was that? Like a fucking arcade?
It's a community center.
Everybody rollerblades. Everybody has stupid haircuts.
It was the 90s.
Everyone's wearing crop tops and they have beepers and just, it was really awful.
And then there was Matthew Lillard. God damn it. We'll get to him, but the return of Matthew Lillard into my life and into this podcast is not a welcome one.
This is the movie, though, I refer to everybody henceforth as baby, because it's baby Johnny Lee Miller and baby Angelina and baby Jesse Bradford and baby Matthew Lillard. This is years or right before they all got famous for some other very big project. I forgot until we were kind of winding down this movie that Johnny Lee Miller was in Trainspotting.
Right.
But that came out in 96. So this predates that. Matthew Lillard's Scream came out in 96. Angelina Jolie really didn't start making it until like 98, 99, with like Girl Interrupted was her big thing. Jesse Bradford, the first thing I knew him from was Bring It On. So again, a couple years down the road.
But I knew him from Swim Fan, which is another kind of computer movie type thing.
But again, that's kind of post.
Yeah, that's like 2002.
Bring It On. Yeah, it's later.
Yeah.
So everybody is very young. Jesse Bradford is like 16. Angelina's 20. They're very, very young and unknowns.
The other ones are in their 20s. Like, I think Johnny Lee Miller is 22 and Matthew Lillard is 23, something like that.
Something in that neighborhood. I would argue that the biggest star in this movie is actually the villain, Fisher Stevens, who makes a return from just a few weeks ago when we watched the Super Mario Brothers movie from the 90s. Right. He is the villain in this piece, and he is called Plague. Again, his super cool hacker name. And he is the head of security
at this like oil company,
something
that
like
has
that.
An office in New York City, and he dresses like, you know, what a hacker thinks is something cool. And he goes into these board meetings and talks to the bigwigs and tells them, you guys clearly did not listen to my email when I sent everybody saying, do not use regular words as your password.
Someone's password was literally God. 3 characters. G-O-D.
Yep. Password. That's what. Maybe we should have had a different thing to describe this thing like a password. It's not a word. It is a phrase or a series of characters.
Yeah, a passcode.
Passcode is a better word for that.
But everybody hears word and they're like, I know, I'll put sex.
It's
or
my
love.
favorite word.
But yeah, Fisher Stevens was a pretty big name in like the 80s and 90s. I don't think he's ever really been a major star, but this is the kind of stuff he consistently got work doing, where he is a recognizable face and he's always the really memorable supporting character. But I have seen so many things from the early to mid 90s with this guy in it.
Yeah, when he acts very big.
He's an absolute definition of a character actor.
Yeah.
And I will give you, every single person in this movie is 100% committed to the nonsense happening on screen.
Yeah.
So in that regard, everybody is actually a pretty good actor. Like, there is solid acting happening. They're just given terrible dialogue to do it. But I believed everybody in this movie. And you know my big hang-up about people and accents? Yeah. Johnny Lee Miller is really British. Like, really British.
I mean, you said he plays Sherlock, so yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, Trainspotting, it makes sense. He's another UK guy. In this, flawless. His American accent is like, his delivery is like a little bit stilted.
His delivery is weird because like when he's in the first time he's in the school, he's like yelling at people. Like, you don't need to yell. It's a hallway. They're right there. You don't need to yell.
Right. But what he is yelling sounds correct. It
does.
You can tell that something is off about the way he is speaking.
It's like
but you just assume
it's like being forced like too much in order to break through the accent.
Yeah, but you just kind of assume, well, it's just because he's a terrible movie and he's a weirdo.
I think it's just because he is playing a weirdo that doesn't have the social skills that a lot of people do.
By the time you're 18, certainly.
Well, and a hacker, and most hackers, you know, are thought of as these loner kids who don't have any friends and don't know how to interact with other people, and it's that trope. But in this case, they know how to talk to other hackers because they all speak the same language.
Oh yeah, and we got there so quickly. Like, on his first day, Angelina Jolie is like, come with me and I'm going to show you around. And it doesn't make any sense. It's just they meet and have this little moment, and then she sends him to the roof as a funny prank with all of the nerds.
Yeah, in the credits, they call them freshmen, so I think they do it to freshmen and new kids. In this case, he's a senior in high school, but he's still a new kid. So he gets the prank on him.
But then this kind of starts back and forth between them where they're
This
sort
war,
of
yeah.
out pranking each other, which of course, you know, when you watch a movie like this, well, I guess they're just gonna fall in love.
Well, of course.
And there's so many weird things in this movie that the filmmakers chose to do. It's like they took every 90s, like, corny way of pointing the camera or editing trick or computer animation and put every single one in this movie. And it is so overwhelming to the senses at times. So like in that scene, when he first lays eyes on Angelina Jolie, there's this weird supercut of like movies from the 40s of people like falling in love and kissing.
Well, like he's obsessed with things like The Outer Limits, so he likes all that old stuff.
But this is even older. The Outer Limits is from like the 60s.
Still.
And it doesn't...
Still old.
It's just like his inner monologue.
Maybe.
But I don't know. It didn't make sense.
Also, when they met and he's like having his fall in love moment, they're like cutting to just her lips, just her face with her lips. And of course, Angelina Jolie is famous for having her big lips. So I don't know if that was just the filmmaker saying, hey, look at her lips. They're really big.
It's just a horny teenage boy crap.
It is.
And then when he kind of gets screwed over by her, he has the same supercut of people like strangling each other and slapping each other.
But that's the thing. They only do that those 2 times.
Yeah, they just threw it in for reasons. And then later on, there's just like, when Joey is hacking into the company and he finds the garbage file and he is in this like cyber room with equations and floating numbers flying at him.
Again, it's the whole Matrix thing about I can see the code.
Yeah, it's just a lot. It's a lot. And there's like weird zooms, like we're traveling into the building, so we need to represent that by flying literally through the building, through this door and into this room and past Penn Jillette, you know,
yeah,
the
of course.
security guard.
Of course, who's named Hal, of course.
Of course he is. Why wouldn't he be?
But yeah, you're right. It has all of the tropes about you hacking in, you actually accessing. It's as if you are breaking into the building, but electronically. That's the only way that filmmakers knew how to represent hacking. It's that.
Right. And there's just things about this that really bothered me. Like at the very beginning when he turns 18 and he's trying to hack into a television station, he types so slow. He's so bad at typing.
For a hacker, yeah.
For a hacker, he is absolutely terrible. And then we're getting it like from the keyboard's perspective. So
Right.
it's just Johnny Lee Miller's hands.
Hovering his fingers over the camera.
He types faster when he's doing nothing.
Yeah, so again, it goes back to him trying to do something noble. He is taking off the air this Rush Limbaugh type of a program. Bet you remember back when Rush Limbaugh had a TV show?
Late night talk show,
Yeah.
in the 90s.
He tried to do that in the 90s and it failed miserably and he went back to AM radio. And he takes him off the air and replaces it with a different tape. You know, tapes back at TV stations.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, so he replaced it with a tape of The Outer Limits, and that's how he is, I guess, using his power, his newly found power again.
But apparently this is Angelina Jolie's turf.
Right.
Like, her job as a hacker is to get into the TV station and change the channel, as it were. And we find out her name is Acid Burn.
Because, of course, I don't know why.
Why?
None of these names really make sense for
They
them.
really don't. And there's just the plot holes galore in this whole movie, starting from the beginning to the end. Like, nobody explains their nicknames. It doesn't really matter. The only nickname they explain is Serial Killer.
Right, and one of them actually has a brand name as his...
Nikon.
Nikon. Even when they're like going through, when they're at the end of the movie, when they're at the payphones, they're panning over everybody's screen, and it's the Nikon logo on his screen. It's not a mistake. It's not an oversight. It is just
this
that.
Literally product placement because we needed some money for this movie?
There's a lot of product placement here. Did you see all the Coke cans?
Several, like, obvious ones. Like, in the boardroom when Plague is kind of saying, oh, yes, it's this Da Vinci virus.
He's literally putting his hand up on the chair behind the woman, and the Coke logo is, like, turned in a really awkward angle.
He didn't even have that fucking can in his hand, like, 2 seconds ago.
Right. And then right after that, he's in a different position in that room. There's also the thing where it's the hacker TV station. They're promoting Jolt Cola.
I didn't even catch that.
Oh, yeah.
I missed that entirely. I was so overwhelmed by everything else
Seriously,
happening.
they were promoting it, saying this is the drink that hackers drink. Oh, no. Yeah.
More energy drinks. More energy drinks for everyone.
And this is, of course, back in the 90s before energy drinks were a thing. It was Jolt Cola and Surge. Those were the first two that I was aware of anyway that had any kind of like mass appeal.
Cram as much caffeine in as you possibly can.
And really, it was just the caffeine and sugar. That's all it was. There wasn't anything like taurine or any of that other bullshit. It wasn't until they started to like bring over Red Bull and all of the other stuff from overseas. Like, Red Bull is I think, from Thailand.
Really?
Originally, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. I just remember it being like late 90s, like maybe 97, 98.
Yep.
When we started seeing Red Bull gives you wings. And they have never changed their advertising.
Why would they?
That shit is still the same as it was 25 years ago.
Yes. And of course, we just had the same conversation back when we watched Crank, which came out in 2006. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So even then, it wasn't until like the mid 2000s that we had a lot of other actual energy drink brands that were marketing themselves as energy drinks, not just, hey, it's got more caffeine, I guess.
I just remember being in high school and people talking about Surge, and it has 4
yeah.
times the amount
I
of
drank
caffeine.
a lot of Surge when I was a kid.
Are you a hacker, Trent?
You know.
Is there something you haven't been telling me?
I mean, I was the one who suggested the series, so...
Is this your way of telling the world your cool hacker name? Do you have one?
No.
Aww. Well, boo on you.
Let's talk about like the whole premise of the movie here, because this movie is about hackers. It's not necessarily like about hacking or anything like that. It is just surrounding these people who happen to, like, their hobby is just hacking with computers and the internet and whatever else, seeing what they can do.
But the villain is also a hacker.
Yeah.
So you've got the good guys and the bad guys.
Again, going back to the whole black hat and white hat thing, they don't actually use those terms. I don't know if they were really in vogue until the 2000s.
Listen, I also don't think this group of teenagers is doing this for good.
I guess not.
They're doing it to fuck around and see what they can accomplish. And when their little friend Joey gets into the wrong place at the wrong time, he gets framed.
Like, there's this abstract thing. I guess it's called it's a Gibson terminal, and like nobody knows how to hack into it, or like they think that it's impossible to hack into. So one of their little buddies gets it in his head that he's going to try to hack into a Gibson terminal. So he finds out through some means, I don't know if they even say it, that this oil company has this. He tries to hack in, and of course, any hacker is going to leave their signature behind. He doesn't get to do that because his mom comes in as he's trying to download a bunch of data from the server.
Onto a floppy drive.
Onto a floppy disk, of course. He has to download things at like fucking 4K per second or anything. I remember the old internet, Betsy. This is...
For you listeners who don't know about this, it took a
hell.
long time to download stuff from
hell.
one place to another onto a disk.
His mother comes in and pulls the plug before he has a chance to download everything and leave his signature. But the bad guy uses this as an opportunity back when he's in this cyber room with Penn Jillette to install his own software, this virus that is this Da Vinci virus. So instead of the kid leaving his signature, he sees this out as an opportunity, saying, hey, we're intruded upon. This is what he left behind.
It's a red herring, though, because he's actually infected the system with a worm, and he is skimming money, and him and one of the women who works at the company, I don't remember what she does there, but it's Lorraine Bracco a few years before The Sopranos, so she is now baby Lorraine Bracco.
All right.
And she and he are in cahoots together. They're going to steal $21.8 million, and in 2 days, it's going to transfer everything to the Cayman Islands or wherever you transfer money.
And here's where I'm a little bit confused, because at the end of the movie, they were looking at the data, and they're doing the whole, like, Office Space thing where they're taking the little remainders off of transactions and depositing it into an account. But at the same time, he says the hacker message, the little video thing that says, you need to give me $25 million.
The Da Vinci Code
The
thing.
Da Vinci thing
Yeah.
says the phrase, you need to give me this much money, otherwise I'm going to have this tanker overturn and spill out a bunch of oil.
It's all a red herring. It's basically, he planted this virus that isn't really a virus. He can turn it on or turn it off anytime he wants.
Right.
And he is using that as a decoy to distract the FBI or the Secret Service or whoever those people were, the agents.
Mm-hmm.
They go after Joey and his gang, and they're going to take the fall for the money disappearing when the money disappears.
But that's the thing. Are they trying to say, oh, they're hacking away the money? Or are they saying, hey, the company needs to pay the ransom? Because that's really what I'm hung up on here.
Oh, why does it ask for money?
Right.
I think
it's asking for a ransom, and is it to think that, okay, the company actually paid the ransom?
No, I think it's
it's
a big fucking distraction. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because he is just trying to use it as an excuse to get all these high school kids to take the fall.
Yeah,
and
I get that.
They won't even question it when the money goes missing because they'll assume those kids have it.
Okay.
That's kind of the point.
So they're saying, okay, it didn't actually matter that they're allowing them to give the money. They're going to take the money anyway.
Right, because
Okay,
they're
all
hackers and they can do that. They're evil, evil little hackers.
They're terrorists. I mean, that FBI guy called them terrorists.
He used the same verbatim speech every time he talks to the press.
Sure. But that's the kind of the premise here, where it is a bad hacker working security at this company who is using this as an opportunity to install his scheme, and he's gonna walk away scot-free because they're gonna pin it on somebody else. When in reality, these kids are just trying to see what they can get away with.
How far can they go?
Yeah.
And they use it like they have a duel when we find out that both Angelina and Johnny Lee Miller are hackers.
Yeah.
They have a little competition to stick it to the man, and so they go after the FBI agent and see how they can fuck with him.
Right. And like they change his record to say that he has like an outstanding warrant for a DUI.
Several outstanding warrants.
And he gets his credit card canceled while he's out to dinner. A personals ad is placed in some like, I don't know,
dirty mag.
Well, it's like a sex website.
Yeah.
Yeah, for like escorts and whatever else. And his office phone is listed, and there's a whole bunch of horny people calling in.
Making dirty phone calls.
Right.
And then, of course, he declares him dead. He's dead.
Yes.
On paper, he is dead.
And really, all of these things are just pranks. These can be fixed. You know, declaring somebody dead is kind of a hard thing to fix, I'm sure. But, you know, you can get your credit card reinstated. You can take down the website. You can change your phone number. All this other stuff. I mean, it's not as bad as, like, stealing somebody's identity. That really got bad in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm. We haven't gotten to that part yet. This is when these guys are still young and having fun.
Right. And it's not too long after this where kids were going to like take somebody's name, find out their social security number, sign up for credit cards, have the number assigned, find the number in the computer system. They don't even have to have the physical card. Mm-hmm. They can just use the card to order a bunch of stuff, have it shipped to somewhere that isn't their house, pick it up, cancel the card, and that's it.
So, of course, one of the things they bring up in this movie is when you are connected to these websites, you shouldn't do it from your house.
Right.
Because they say, like, oh, you're not hooked up to the phone again. I'm like, it's the 90s. Aren't all the computers hooked up to phones? the internet used to screech.
I chalk that up to these are parents, and they don't really know modems and computers and internet stuff.
But again, in the 90s, there's literally no way to be hooked up to the internet without being hooked up to a phone line,
not
correct?
At home. Not at home.
I'm not crazy, right?
But what they're saying here is, hey, this kid hacked into some ATM in Idaho and had it spit out...
From his bedroom.
Yeah, from his bedroom, and had it spit out like $600 cash.
Which is nothing. It's not even that much money. He just, again, pushed buttons to see what he would do.
Right, and that's the principle of the thing. He just wanted to see if he could do it. But then all these other kids know better to say, do not do that over state lines, man. The FBI will come after you. They have a lot more resources than the local cops.
Yeah, there's a lot of just like busting down doors for these people who are all minors.
also, that's not even FBI. That's the Secret Service.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out who exactly is after them because they kept referring to them as Secret Service, and I was like, are they actually Secret Service, or are they just calling them that?
I think they are Secret Service because
they don't do that.
I mean, the Secret Service does a lot of things that you wouldn't expect. Like, they are in charge of the counterfeiting operations in the United States. They go after counterfeiters.
I like that every one of these hacker movies that has a government agency in it that we have watched has been a different government agency.
Yeah.
Every single one. It's been like NSA, FBI, Secret Service. Everyone cares about what's happening with your computer.
I guess.
But we get these guys who know better, so throughout the movie, when they start doing their pranks, they show them all around New York City. So they're like in Chinatown using a payphone. They're in the basement of Grand Central Station. They're constantly hooking up their laptops in different places. How would that even work in 1995?
I honestly do not know.
I don't think it would.
I mean, I'm sure there's something within a payphone that you can hook up to, but I just do not know.
I don't believe the technology in this, that it would actually work. They all have these massive fucking OtterBox size laptops.
Yeah. Like the thing that is really bothering me is that none of this stuff would happen nearly as quickly. We already talked about this, the dial-up speed. Like that stuff would not go nearly as fast as what they are depicting on this thing.
Oh yes, when they have to go and summon all of the hackers in the world, Hackers of the World Unite.
Hack the planet.
Hack the planet. Everyone everywhere around the world is typing as quickly as they can to attack a single business entity at the same time.
Which is a real thing. I'm going to get to the hack the planet thing in a minute, but that is what's called a denial of service attack, a DDoS attack.
Okay.
So that is a real thing that happens to this day, where a computer system is overwhelmed by requests from outside and it cannot handle them. So while the system is bogged down, somebody who's already in the system can do whatever they want because it cannot keep up.
Okay, so they're kind of causing the distraction while they dance around in the flames.
It is a very, very proto-DDoS attack is what they're doing here. And that allows them to take this oil company service down, I guess.
Because they're trying to get in to stop the boat from capsizing, right?
Something like I honestly do not know what they're trying to do.
But they're also trying to get the rest of the file.
Yeah, they're trying to get the garbage data that they couldn't get the first time.
Yeah, it's a little vague. Like, it's just this really, like, techno music, and we're all typing fast, and the cops are coming, so we have a time crunch, and you kind of forget you're supposed to care about what's happening.
Yeah. But yeah, like, the cops all have, like, automatic weapons, and they're pointing them at children.
Yeah.
That's great.
In public.
God.
It's wonderful.
But anyway, I said in the intro there was a line here that I knew from this movie, and I've heard it repeated on occasion. Hack the planet.
Yeah, I've never heard that, or if I have, I've buried it down deep inside me.
It is, I guess, the name of the TV program or internet program that those other two guys were on.
Oh, Razor and Blade?
Yes, those guys. I guess that's their slogan, or that's the name of the thing. And of course, at the end of the movie, when they call everybody out and they enlist the services of all of the hackers around the world, everybody gets a page saying "Hack the Planet."
Also, I love that when they showed, quote, all the other hackers around the world, it's like 3 people. It's the guy from the Eurythmics, some woman in Spain, and a Russian dude.
Yep.
Those are all of the hackers on the planet.
At least all the people who watch the show anyway.
I guess, and I don't exactly understand how this show is being broadcast, if they're just taking over the airwaves. Like, they suggest, because there's a shot in space, that they can control a satellite dish.
Uh-huh.
So that's cool.
I mean, clearly Matthew Lillard was able to hack into every single television.
Because Matthew Lillard is the most brilliant man in this entire movie.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Matthew Lillard, you need to fucking go away. Stop infecting yourself into this podcast. God
I'm
damn it.
going to make you watch so many more Matthew Lillard movies.
Damn it.
Literally, while we were starting this, I was like, maybe we should watch SLC Punk, and you'd never even heard of this movie.
No.
But it's another 90s movie with Matthew Lillard, where he plays a punk guy in Salt Lake City.
I fucking hate him.
It's another cult
I hate
movie.
him so much.
You don't. You love him.
God damn it.
You freaking love him. Well, while we're on the topic of Matthew Lillard, let's talk about some of the other characters in this, because there's a colorful crew surrounding these two.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, you've got Freak. The only thing I've seen that guy in is Con Air. He's one of the prisoners in Con Air.
All right.
You've got Jesse Bradford, who has just had his braces off, and he's smoking all the time.
There's so much smoking in this entire movie. Half of the cast is smoking.
And he's like the little baby buddy where it's just like, oh, come on, guys. I want to show you what I can do.
Uh-huh.
So when he gets in trouble, they all have to gang up.
Yeah.
You've got Angelina Jolie as Kate. And I don't understand her deal because she's kind of a biker chick, but she's also got this boyfriend who remains sort of nameless and faceless. But then she's very quick to go on the date with Johnny Lee Miller at the end of the movie because she's been having sex dreams about it.
Why, he's having sex dreams about her.
This is true.
Barging into his room, taking off her top and getting on top of him,
And then
and
being
right
arrested.
right after getting arrested.
So yeah, we set up pretty quickly that she's got a boyfriend, or at least a guy she's kind of with, and then we never see him again.
He's there a couple of times because he leaves with her after the first party scene, and then they go into her room to make out while the other guys are just checking out her laptop.
And there was a great explanation about what he does, and they say, that's it. That's what he does. He stands there looking cool, rides a motorcycle, and they make out. He has no substance. I don't remember his name.
Nope.
And then he disappears because the second she finds out this other guy is actually a hacker and they have something in common, then suddenly we're gonna, pretend we don't like each other when really secretly we do.
I guess subconsciously they do.
Yep.
That's the thing. It took that.
And then you've got Nikon, who has a photographic memory, and he can just walk through and pose as a flower delivery guy and memorize everybody's secret codes. But they showed that scene, and then it had no consequence. Like, what was the purpose of that?
They were gathering data. Like, they had a whole bunch of printouts that they got from the garbage dump when she shoots that flare gun at the guy.
Oh, I suppose.
They grabbed a bunch of papers from there. I don't even know why. Like, what would be on these pieces of paper? I don't get
There's
that.
so many just like, we're going to do this because it'll make sense later. And it doesn't make sense.
Basically, the more people that you get access to, the more accounts you get access to, the more people you're going to find that have access, like higher access to reach other things.
I guess. And apparently there was a memo about the oil spill that hasn't happened yet.
Right. That did not make any sense.
And it all clicks. It all comes together and they hatch their master plan.
Yeah.
There are also, like I said, Penn Jillette shows up as a security guard or something.
Right.
And Mark Anthony is in this.
Yeah.
Mark Anthony is one of the Secret Service guys that busts in on Jesse Bradford, and then he's just kind of there for the rest of the movie, like spying and following people.
Right.
There's also, like I said, Lorraine Bracco, and at the very, very beginning, Felicity Huffman, Desperate Housewives.
Right. That's right. She's
the lawyer.
She's the prosecutor.
Yeah,
prosecuting the child.
Yeah, she's going after that little boy. So there's just so many rando people. Again, baby Felicity Huffman. That's who that was. Mostly I was distracted by Mark Anthony, though, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, he did not fit. I don't get that.
It's weird because he has been in a couple movies before this, I think, but mostly after. He is in that one in the late 90s, I think. Martin Scorsese made Bringing Out the Dead.
Okay.
He is in that movie, and he's actually pretty good. He's one of those dudes that I just don't think of as an actor, though, so when he shows up, I'm always very surprised.
No. I think that's all the people that is in this movie. I just wanted to kind of talk about a few other things here. There's a couple of hacks, and there's just a few other moments that I wanted to talk about. First of all, it's a very weird flirting thing, but when Johnny Lee Miller is in school, he's hacking I think he's either hacking his own profile or Kate's profile in order for them to be in the same classes together. And one of the classes that they're in is this like weird poetry class.
I don't know what that was. It was like advanced English, I think it said.
I don't know, but like they're like putting up a bunch of like poetry things or like quotes from books or poetry. I don't know. And hers is a quote from one of her mother's books, where she writes like maybe romance things. I don't know.
No, she said that at the party at her apartment, the Freak character, he pulls one of the books off and he says she writes self-help books.
For women.
For women, particularly,
Okay. And Johnny Lee Miller has some quote up there from somebody that I think I remember. Ginsberg.
Yeah.
Okay. And Matthew Lillard is up there, of course, and he wrote a Black Sabbath line.
Of course.
Yep.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yep.
Because he is obsessed with bands like Dead Kennedys, and he mentioned another one, and now I've forgotten, Zooks or something.
Well, speaking of bands, like I loved all of these kids' rooms because we got to go in almost all of them, I think. Well, except for Matthew Lillard, because I don't think he actually has a home. He's wanting to crash at everybody's place.
You might be correct about that now that you say that.
I think Matthew Lillard might be homeless.
He's either homeless or he chooses to never go home to his parents.
Oh, God.
He's brilliant. He doesn't need it. He just sleeps on couches.
I would not let him sleep on our couch.
No, he's gross.
He's fucking gross.
Wash your hair.
Wash your everything. But like Johnny Lee Miller has this giant like wall filling,
like a square poster.
It's of fucking Nirvana.
Yep. He's also got one for Soundgarden.
Soundgarden, yeah. I think there was maybe one other one I can't remember, but like, I mean, if I was into these bands, if I was this age anyway, it's like I would want to hang out with these kids. Like, you got good music taste.
But they're also like the outcasts and the weird kids and the rejects. It's like, no, those are really the cool kids, even if the popular kids don't think so.
I mean, it is hacker school, so kind of everybody has to be into this stuff.
Yep, hacker high. That's where they go.
I also wanted to talk about this, like what I call the community center, where everybody hangs out on a couple of different occasions. They all kind of go there, where there's people on skateboards, there's people on fucking rollerblades.
Inline skates, Trent.
No, Betsy. Angelina Jolie was wearing a like armband or something that had Rollerblade as the brand name on it.
Oh, good God.
And there's this projector screen happening with like a PlayStation game being projected on the screen, and I guess she is the best player at that game. She's just standing up there.
Not anymore, Trent.
Right. And it's of a Wipeout game.
I don't know what that is.
I watched the credits, and that was a real game.
Okay.
That came out for the PlayStation or the PC
never
or something
seen that
back
game
then.
Before.
It looks like shit.
Well, yeah, it was the 90s. They weren't that great yet.
It's true. But yeah, this place looks really cool, and I would love to hang out at a place like this.
It's weird because it looks like a club for people who are 21 and older,
right?
But apparently this is where all teenagers hang out.
The teenagers hang out.
Yeah,
I didn't see one adult anywhere.
Who is running this establishment?
Right.
Frankly, where are all of your parents? Apart from Johnny Lee Miller's mother, we don't see a single parent.
Yes, we do.
Listen, I'm not even sure with Freak if that was his mom, because I thought I heard her say hermano, which means brother.
Oh, shit.
So I'm not 100% convinced that was his mom, but she wasn't in it long enough for it to matter.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. But I just wanted to point out the fact that this place in New York City that is just housing a bunch of young people.
A businessman of sorts runs this establishment.
I don't know how are they making money with this? I would like to know.
They don't have any money, or if they do, they're hacking it, so that's how they pay for things.
Oh, hack money.
Hack money. This is the Hack Community Center.
And I just had two little things to add on. One of them is when Johnny Lee Miller is calling the TV station for the first time, talking to, I guess, the security guard. Mm-hmm. He gets him on the phone, and he's doing another bit of social engineering, much like I talked about in the Sneakers movie.
Yeah, and in the 90s, nobody knew better.
Exactly. So these people are just saying the words, saying the things in order to get you to do what they want. It seems like an innocuous thing, but him telling him the phone number that is listed on the modem, that's a way for him to get in.
It's remote access.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's how they do it if you work from home. You have to give them what's the little code on your computer, what network are you on.
Right. But in this case, it's a real phone number that he can dial into with his modem, and if he knows what switches or whatever else to have on his side, he can get in.
Because he's the best hacker that has ever lived.
And the last thing is, I don't think I've ever seen a movie end with a sex scene.
There wasn't sex. They were just floating about in the pool.
They were getting naked. They were making out. Something is going to happen.
There was no getting naked.
Betsy,
they
were
camera, not removing their clothing.
Yes, she took her dress off.
I didn't even see that unless I already got bored and walked away.
Just in her bra as the camera is zooming out.
They were going swimming, Trent. You shouldn't have even been in that pool in a dress to begin with. You're gonna drown.
It's a PG-13 movie. They're not gonna have any sex. But again, I don't think I've ever seen a movie end like that.
Yeah, it's PG-13, which means there was one fuck, and they had to ADR the second one
That's
out.
Right. That's
but you
right.
can look right at her mouth, and you know what she's really saying.
What is she saying? It's
screw.
It's I hope you fuck better than you type, but it's ADR to say screw.
Yeah. They used their F-bomb later, though, I think.
But they used it badly.
Yeah, it would have been better if she had done it, but it would have been most better if they had just had it throughout.
Well, and I know PG-13 movies have the rule that you can have one fuck, but it cannot be, like, explicit, I think. Because she is referring to the actual act of fucking.
Oh, yeah, they wouldn't let you do that.
Like, I was reading this when we were watching another recent movie. When you use it as a gerund, like fucking, you're not actually saying the act of having sex. Like, give me the fucking phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a descriptor.
Yes, you're using it as a gerund instead of an actual act. In her case, with the thing that got ADR'd out, that's an act. And you can't have that in your PG-13 movie.
Naughty, screenwriters.
Learning something. Anyway, Betsy, that's all I had. What did you have left?
One other thing about the dialogue. There is just some real charmers throughout this craptastic movie. There is a word they use a lot, and it's elite. It's that thing where they're trying to have the cool word that everybody uses that you really want to be. And in this movie, it's elite. And there is a line, I think it was Matthew Lillard who said it at the beginning, where he says, if you really want to be elite, you have to have a righteous hack.
Yes.
It's like, what the fuck? That is the worst sentence I've heard all day, and probably for the rest of the week. But yeah, it's just that thing where they're like, you know what the kids on the street say? Elite. That's the lingo now.
Yeah. Well, you know what they're referring to when it comes to a righteous hack, right?
No.
Well, I think what they're referring to here is that you have to have a hack that you can get known for that is doing something righteous in this case. Like doing something that, hey, take the Rush Limbaugh guy off the air, or like when we're talking about the Sneakers movie, hack into the Republican National Committee bank account and drain it and give all the money to Greenpeace.
Or in Zero Chill or whatever the fuck his name was. Yeah. In his case, he crashed 1,507 systems in a single day.
Right.
And that's what got him caught. And everybody knows about him. Right. Oh, yeah, that was a cool hack.
Right, that's his claim to fame.
It was elite.
But because he's ashamed of it and he wants to have a future, he changes his online persona to a different name.
Well, no, because his ass will get arrested again if he's out there under the same pseudonym.
True. But that's the thing. In the hacker communities...
I don't think he's ashamed of shit.
Well, fine. But in the hacker communities, you are your reputation. And he's trying to create, by having a righteous hack, that is increasing your reputation.
I guess, but I think he's just changing it because he'll get in trouble if he's found out to be on it again, to be out there hacking his righteous hacks and being so fucking elite.
Anyway, all right, Betsy, I think that's going to be the end of this one. If you would like to tell us what you thought of Hackers or any of the other Hackers movies that we've done, email us, neverseenitpod@gmail.com. Again, that email address is neverseenitpod@gmail.com. Email us just like we got an email from Seth. We got this a couple weeks ago. He watched our Rocky movie, and he starts with the subject line, 70s Heartbreak. Excuse me, I have to warm up my voice. Good morning, never seen it. Parentheses, Robin Williams, good morning, Vietnam voice.
Had to do it.
Had to do it. I just finished your Rocky episode and I was already going to send an email. Then I heard my first email about your theme song and I knew I had to fill in the blanks of the lyrics. Just background information. Yes, Seth has emailed us before, and he said, do you have any lyrics for your theme song, your break music? And we said, no, we kind of stole that from another podcast that they don't use anymore, so it's ours now. He says, to me, the melody is screaming the name of your show, so it's a good choice. If you can't figure out the placement, I will send y'all a snippet of my singing if you swear that you'll never see or hear the light of day. And without further ado, he sent us the actual lyrics he wrote for the song. And Betsy is going to treat us with a rendition of our theme song to Seth's lyrics.
Oh no. So forgive us because it might not line up exactly the way Seth had envisioned it.
We're going to figure it out. So Betsy, if you please.
All right. It's something to the effect of, never seen it, Betsy and Trent. Never seen it, Betsy and Trent. They're watching the movie now. Never seen it, Betsy and Trent. Never seen it, how can it be? Never seen it, will they like it? We're all about to find out. Maybe Trent will and Betsy won't. The show is starting now, grab your popcorn now. This is the end of the song. Bloop!
Thank you, Betsy. Give you a round of applause. In parentheses, he says, the bloop comes right after the song ends, of course.
Bloop!
Bloop. Anyway, he says, I was originally going to write in because Betsy mentioned she doesn't like 70s movies, and you guys have only covered 3 movies from the 70s. I was shocked at this until she mentioned she likes to feel good when watching a movie, so yeah, the 70s may not be the best path. I do recommend, however, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes for some good absurdist fun.
Oh my god.
Have you ever seen such a movie?
I maybe saw the beginning of one once, but I'm not 100%.
Isn't George Clooney in one of these movies?
Yes, George
Clooney. Is he in the sequel?
Is definitely in 2 or 3.
Yeah, I know he's in one of those.
The thing I remember is the cartoon. Do you remember there was a cartoon?
No.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. That's what I remember.
No. I have no idea.
I don't remember anything else about it. I just know it was a thing.
Maybe we might have to find some 70s movies and do something with them.
We'll work on it. It's always a blind spot for us.
Yeah.
We've always been on the search for stuff that we think would be worth covering.
Yeah, give us some more suggestions. I'm all for it. He says, keep up the good work, Seth, but he sent a follow-up right after that saying, hey, P.S., I forgot to mention that I hate sports movies, but Rocky rules, and the second one is way deserving of your time.
Excellent. Good to know.
Thank you, Seth, for the lyrics and for the email and everything else. That's awesome. And yes, we will definitely watch more Rocky movies down the line. I have no idea when we're going to do that yet because we're still formulating what we're going to do for June and everything else.
And so on and so forth.
Yes. Anyway, so if you would like to be like Seth, send your own lyrics to our theme song.
Maybe he got it wrong.
Maybe
he got it perfect and you can just record it yourself and send it our way.
Right. Use those lyrics.
To the tune
and record yourself and send us an MP3. We will play it, or you can just have it for us and we won't play it if you don't want us to. All right. Again, email address is neverseenitpod@gmail.com. Find all of our social media links in the episode description, along with a link to support the show. Please do so on the Spotify thing. Pay us $1, $5, $10, however many dollars you want to spend to help support these shenanigans.
Don't hack your money and send it to us. We don't want hacked money.
I don't care. I'll take your money whether or not it's hacked or not.
We do not comply with illicit activities.
All money's fake anyway. Anyway, if you don't have any hacked dollars to send us, please go onto your podcast app of choice, find our show, and rate us 5 stars. It helps spread the good word about Never Seen It. Those are free. All right. Again, this is the end of the show. This has been another episode of Never Seen It. We're done with our hacker series.
We made it.
We have one more episode in the month of May, and then June, Betsy, we have another series starting.
We've just decided.
We just decided in the past couple of days. June, the Sundays in June anyway, are going to be another series. But we'll tease what that's going to be on the next episode. That's what you call a teaser in the business. Anyway, I'm going to end the show. Thanks again, Betsy, for being my co-host today and every day. My name is Trent.
My name is Betsy.
And we'll be back to you next time.
Hack the planet.
Hack the planet.